You type it at 11:43 p.m. on a Tuesday. Not out loud, not to anyone. Into a search bar, brightness turned down so the screen doesn't wake anyone. Is it normal to have no savings at 35? You sit with the cursor blinking for a second. Typing it felt like admitting something you've been refusing to admit for longer than you want to calculate. Then you hit enter. Google answers immediately, without judgment. Without that specific pause, people do. Before they say something they're trying to say carefully. That's why you asked Google, not because it knows better, because it doesn't change how it looks at you after you ask. Age 29. You weren't worried yet. 29 felt like the edge of something, not the middle. There was still time. You said this to yourself the way people say things that feel true in the moment and hollow years later at 11:43 p.m. Your friend Jamie bought a house at 29. You went to the housewarming, stood in his kitchen doing the mental math on a down payment, then stopped because it wasn't a useful thing to finish. On the drive home, you told yourself you were on a different timeline, not behind, different. You believed it. Mostly. Age 31. The number in your account was $340, not $340,000, not $34,000. $340 sitting in a checking account that charged you $12 a month in maintenance fees. You had stopped noticing the way you stopped noticing a sound that's always there. Thursday evening. A notification from a budgeting app you downloaded 8 months ago and opened twice. You haven't logged any savings this month. You close it. You open Instagram instead. Jamie has posted a photo of his deck, string lights, a caption about weekends well spent. You double tap it. You put the phone face down. That night you open the budgeting app for the first time properly. Not to use it, just to look at the blank fields. Savings goal, blank. Monthly contribution, blank. Projected retirement, blank. You close it. You tell yourself you'll fill it in this weekend. You don't. Age 33, lunch, 4 people. Someone mentions their pension contribution. Someone else mentions their ISA. The conversation moves the way it moves when everyone assumes everyone else is operating at the same level. You nod. You say something vague about reviewing your contributions. You use the word portfolio in a sentence that doesn't require you to mention what's actually in yours. What's actually in yours is $340. Same number. 2 years later. You drive home and sit in the car before going inside. You think about what it means to use a word correctly while knowing you have no right to it. That's the part nobody tells you about having nothing saved. It's not the money. It's the performance, the nods, the vague answers, the way you've become fluent in a language you don't actually speak. So at 11:43 p.m. on a Tuesday 2 years later, you type the question, is it normal to have no savings at 35? Not because you need an answer, because you need permission to not be okay, and you needed somewhere to ask that wasn't a person. Google gives you 17 results in 0.43 seconds. You read the first one, then a Reddit thread from 4 years ago. 43 people answered. One said you're fine. Median savings at 35 is basically zero. Another said you should have started at 22. In a way that wasn't helpful to anyone who's currently 35. You read until 12:30 a.m. You don't feel better, you feel located, which is different. Not better, just less alone in a way that only works in the dark with the brightness turned down. You put the phone on the nightstand. You think about the word median. You think about being a median. About whether being average at the thing you're most ashamed of is supposed to feel like relief. It doesn't, quite. But it doesn't feel as bad as before, which might be as good as tonight gets. 4 months after the search, you don't tell anyone you Googled it. Not Jamie. Not the person you're closest to who would say something kind that would make you feel worse in the way kindness does when you haven't been honest about the size of the thing. Instead, you open a new account. Not dramatic, just a separate place. Different bank, different app, somewhere that doesn't sit next to your checking account where you can watch it disappear. You transfer $50. It feels embarrassing, you do it anyway. Because the alternative is not doing it, and you've been choosing the alternative for 6 years. The app sends a notification. Great start, you close it immediately. You don't feel like it's a great start, you feel like it's a late start. The difference matters even if nobody else can see it. 7 months after the search. Jamie calls on a Sunday. He sounds tired in a way his Instagram doesn't. You talk for an hour. Somewhere in the middle he mentions the mortgage. Not the deck, not the string lights. The rate that adjusted. The month last year where he had to move money in a way he hadn't planned for. It worked out. But it was close. Closer than he'd like. He hasn't told many people. You listen. You think about the housewarming, the tour, the drive home where you told yourself you were on a different timeline. Jamie wasn't ahead of you. Jamie was just louder about the parts that looked like winning and quieter about everything underneath. You've been comparing yourself to a performance, not a person. A performance. You sit with that after you hang up. Something loosens. The weight of believing everyone else had figured out something you hadn't. It shifts, the way a knot shifts when you stop pulling against it. 10 months after the search. The account has $340 in it. Same number that used to sit in your checking account going nowhere. Now it's somewhere else, moving slowly, without announcing itself to anyone. You open the budgeting app, the one with the blank fields. You fill in 1. Savings goal, you type a number that feels large, delete it, type one that feels possible instead. You close the app, you don't post about it, you don't mention it at lunch. You just leave the field filled in and go make dinner. Age 36. The account has $2,400 in it now. Not life-changing. Not enough to erase the question you typed at 11:43 p.m. 14 months ago. Just enough to prove something you didn't believe back then. The number can change. So can you. A Wednesday morning. You open the app before anything else. Not because you're worried. Just checking. The way you check the weather. The number went up. You make coffee, leave the phone on the counter, and don't think about money again until that evening. There was a time when not thinking about money meant avoiding it. Now it means trusting the small habits you've repeated long enough that they finally became ordinary. Age 36, 8 months later. Someone at work mentions they're stressed about money. You don't offer advice, you simply say, "Yeah, I know that feeling." She smiles. On the drive home, you realize how much energy you spent pretending to understand a financial world you never really felt part of. For years, you weren't protecting your confidence. You were protecting your pride. There's a difference. Age 37. Jamie comes over for dinner. Halfway through the meal, he asks, "So, how are things really going?" This time, you tell him everything. The account, the $50 transfer, the search you made at 11:43 p.m. Jamie is quiet. Then he smiles. "I Googled almost the same thing when I was 32. Different words, same fear, same late night, same Reddit threads. Neither of you ever told the other. More than 10 years of friendship. And both of you carried the same quiet shame because pretending felt safer than telling the truth." The conversation moves on, but something changed. Not your bank account. The story you'd been telling yourself about it. Age 37, 6 months later. The account has $11,000 in it. You look at the number. It doesn't feel dramatic. It feels normal, and that's when you understand what really changed. You no longer open the app looking for proof that you're failing. You open it expecting your habits to keep doing what they do. You think back to the search. Is it normal to have no savings at 35? That was never the real question. The real question was whether being behind meant staying behind. Google couldn't answer that, because it was never a Google question. It was an identity question. The answer wasn't hidden in search results. It was hidden inside one decision that felt too small to matter. The $50 transfer, the blank field you finally filled in, the conversation you finally stopped avoiding. Somewhere tonight, someone else is typing that same question with the brightness turned down. The internet will tell them what they should have done years ago. What it won't tell them is that the decision that changes their financial life will probably feel small, quiet, maybe even embarrassing, just like yours did. The night you typed that question wasn't the night you discovered how little you had saved. It was the night you finally stopped pretending nothing needed to change. So tell me something. What have you been Googling in the dark that you've never said out loud? Not the answer you found, the question you typed.